be a model. Well, a model just beat your ass in round 2, so shut up.
Dakota Ditcheva just dropped the most savage line in women's MMA history after knocking out former UFC title challenger Taila Santos. She grabbed that mic and delivered a model, just beat your ass in round 2, so shut up. That's not trash talk. It's a bombshell. And we're about to break it all down.
Santos is in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
In the 2024 PFL World Championships co-main event, Dakota dismantled Taila Santos with precision, heavy leg kicks, brutal knees, elbows, and a body shot that ended the fight at 4:41 of round 2 MMA fighting. Then she capped her destruction with that mic drop moment, turning physical dominance into pure psychological warfare. Let's get real, Taila Santos was no walkover. She nearly beat Valentina Shevchenko in 2022, and her grit is legendary, but Dakota's just 26 and unbeaten. 10 first-round knockouts, a $1 million prize winner. Now she's called out a UFC legend in the harshest way possible. That's legacy disruption. That line is more than a clapback. It's a mission statement. Dakota's saying, I'm not just here to compete. I'm here to dismantle everything that came before me, and I'll do it stylishly. A model just beat your ass, so shut up. The MMA world can't stop talking about it. Don't ignore what this means in the bigger picture. PFL's Golden Girl just embarrassed a UFC veteran on the mic. If Dakota jumps to the UFC next, wow, talk about fireworks. Donn Davis, PFL's founder, even confirmed plans to elevate her. She's being groomed for superstardom, and moments like this just spread the fire faster. But is Dakota biting off more than she can chew? Santos is just one fight. The UFC roster still has legends like Valentina Alexa, Grasso, Erin Blanchfield. Now she's challenged the narrative with one savage line. Can she follow it up when it really matters? Or is it just hot garbage talk? So here's the $1 million question. Was that clapback the intellectual KO of 2024, or is it smoke talking loud? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me, who would you rather fight next, Santos again or someone higher up in the UFC? And make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when the dust settles, Dakota Ditcheva might just be the fighter rewriting the very script of women's MMA.
Let me tell you one thing, this hype train stops for nobody.
Even though I look up to her a lot, I still want to be in her position and be able to beat someone like her. So.
Valentina Shevchenko has been the most feared woman in MMA for years, but one former rival just issued a chilling warning, and it's about a fighter Valentina has never faced before. Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated queen of violence from the PFL, and according to Taila Santos, she's coming to end the UFC's women's division.
It is well.
But her limit, like, what's her limit?
Yeah, but look at this. Look at Taila.
Tyler's right in her face.
Loved it. All right, we step over here and
Taila Santos knows exactly what it's like to stand across the cage from Valentina. In 2022, she took bullet to the brink. Many fans still believe she won that fight. And now Santos is telling Valentina to watch her back because Dakota Ditcheva is no ordinary prospect. Taila Santos said, Valentina better be ready. Dakota is a killer. She's fast, powerful, and not afraid of anyone. Dakota Ditcheva is a perfect storm. Lightning fast, Muay Thai, brutal knees in the clinch, and a fight IQ beyond her years. Unbeaten, unshaken, unmatched in PFL. At just 25 years old, she's already racked up highlight reel knockouts that have Dana White watching closely and UFC fighters avoiding her name. She's not just winning, she's dismantling opponents. And Taila Santos is basically saying, if Valentina thinks she's safe, she's dead wrong. For years, Valentina has been untouchable. Legends like Holly Holm, Jessica Andrade, and Joanna Jedrzejczyk have fallen. But the truth, she's not invincible anymore. She's been pushed to the limit by Taila Santos and even finished by Alexa Grasso. Now, Dakota Ditcheva is looming young, hungry, and undefeated, the exact type of fighter who ends a legacy. And if Dakota jumps to the UFC, we might be looking at the biggest women's MMA super fight since Rousey versus Holm. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. UFC and PFL are in a silent war, and Dakota is the crown jewel Dana White wants to steal. Imagine Dana pulling the trigger. Forget the slow build, let's throw Dakota at Valentina right now. That's not just a fight, that's a declaration of war between promotions. Kayla Harrison already made the jump from PFL to UFC. Now imagine Dakota following her and wrecking shop. That's how dynasties die. Taila Santos isn't just hyping a teammate, she's issuing a prophecy. The kind of prophecy that sends chills down the spine of an entire division. Because if Dakota Ditcheva's UFC debut is against Valentina Shevchenko, this could be the night the bullet gets stopped for good. So here's the question, is Valentina Shevchenko ready for the most dangerous striker she's ever faced? Or will Dakota Ditcheva arrive in the UFC and kill the queen like Santos warned? Drop your predictions below, and remember, in MMA, the next big thing doesn't knock, she kicks the fucking door down. Kayla Harrison just dropped a bombshell. She's not talking about her next UFC fight. She's not even talking about herself. She's talking about a PFL star who she claims will walk into the UFC and beat every woman on the roster, including the bullet herself, Valentina Shevchenko.
Behind your teammate Dakota Ditcheva. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Bro, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's got a great...
This isn't just hype. Kayla Harrison calls Dakota Ditcheva the future of MMA. She says Dakota is young, hungry, disciplined, and motivated. But here's the kicker. She straight up calls her a killer. And if you know Kayla, you know she doesn't throw that word around lightly.
Sprinkle by TK or KO. I will tell you, the confidence that she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable. And there it is.
Beautiful knee from the plum. And Ditcheva beckons Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Oh, right hand. In trouble. And that does it. First round finish, and Dakota Ditcheva silences.
Why is this controversial? Because Kayla Harrison is basically saying Dakota could run through the entire UFC women's division. And yes, that includes the champions. You think Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili, and Alexa Grasso want to hear this? No chance. Valentina has been called the most dangerous striker in women's MMA history. But according to Kayla, Dakota has the tools to beat her. That's not just a compliment. That's a direct challenge. Let's talk about why Kayla is so confident. Dakota Ditcheva is undefeated, 7-0 in the PFL, a perfect record in MMA, and a Muay Thai background that's downright terrifying. She's tall, she's powerful, and she's been finishing opponents with pure violence. She doesn't just win, she dominates. And Kayla Harrison, who trains with her at American Top Team, has seen it up close. If anyone knows how dangerous Dakota really is, it's Kayla. This also stirs the pot in the UFC versus PFL rivalry. The UFC has the biggest platform, but the PFL is building killers, and Kayla Harrison throwing fuel on this fire is no accident.
The PFL should keep the UFC out of their mouth. They can't even deal with Power Slap. Power Slap has 19.2 million followers. The PFL has 10. PFL Fight Week did 326 million. Power Slap 8 did 690 million. So if you look at PFL, the fight week and the aftermath, these guys had 76. Just the week of, they had 68 million on Power Slap. And we haven't even had a fight yet. PFL's Instagram reel with Francis and Ronaldo did 14 million views. Power Slap's Instagram reel with contender Isaiah had 22 million views. And that was a repost of an old fight. I can keep going on. He sounds like Kamala, talks a lot, but says nothing. I would hate to be one of that guy's investors. He doesn't beat Power Slap in revenue. He doesn't beat Power Slap in ticket sales. He doesn't beat Power Slap in sponsorship. He doesn't beat Power Slap in anything.
Dana White's not exactly in the business of admitting PFL has better fighters. But if Dakota walks in and starts KOing UFC contenders, that changes everything. Remember, Kayla just made her own UFC debut at UFC 300, choking out Holly Holm in under 2 rounds. She's riding high, but instead of making it all about her, she's putting Dakota's name in the spotlight. That's loyalty, and that's dangerous PR for the UFC's current stars. If Dakota does sign with the UFC, you can bet your life the super fight everyone will talk about is Dakota Ditcheva versus Valentina Shevchenko. Power versus precision, youth versus experience. Kayla Harrison believes Dakota would win, and honestly, after watching her highlight reel, she might not be wrong. So here's the question: is Kayla Harrison just hyping her teammate, or did she just accidentally announce the arrival of the next UFC queen? One thing's for sure, Dakota Ditcheva isn't just coming for the UFC, she's coming to kill the hype of every champion in her way. Do you think Dakota could beat Valentina? Drop your thoughts below.
Yeah, Conor McGregor follows me on Twitter. Like, I was told that as well the other day by my brother's friend. So, you know, things like that are like massive.
Superstar, what is up, Fiat? You're the next big thing, Dave. Look up your nose.
Dakota Ditcheva just dropped a fucking bombshell, and the MMA world is spinning. Conor McGregor tried to pull her to the UFC. Dana White's been sniffing around, and fans thought it was a done deal. But nope, Dakota just shut the door and lit the fuse on a full-blown PFL versus UFC war.
Taila digging deep for sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
She's 15-0-12 finishes, the face of the PFL, the poster on their billboards, the star in their promos, the main event fighter. They push harder than anyone. And here's where it gets controversial. PFL didn't even put her in this year's tournament. The reigning champion sidelined. Why? Politics, matchmaking nightmares, and a looming UFC threat.
You're the next big thing, Dave. Look up your nose.
At BKFC 71, Conor McGregor, yes. The Conor spotted Dakota, hugged her, and told her to her face, "You're the next big thing, baby." Social media exploded. Fans started tagging Dana White. UFC hype accounts called her the future of the flyweight division. People thought this was the start of a UFC fast-track signing. But that's when Dakota's curveball hit.
I'm just like, get me anything, literally. But like you said, you know, it was kind of, it's hard. I get it's hard for PFL, you know, they've put all the girls in the tournament and then now they need to find someone that's going to kind of give me a good competition. They can't give me someone that's, you know, just kind of signed to the PFL and not really had that much experience because it doesn't make sense. I've just beat Santos very easily. I think that's another thing that I have to understand is like if I'd had a 5-round war with Santos, there would have been a few more people in there that would have been more of a match. But
instead of chasing UFC gold or riding McGregor's cosign into the octagon, she said no. Dakota confirmed she's staying in the PFL. In her own words, "I'm gutted. I haven't had anything just yet. Get me anything. Literally, I left it up to PFL whether they were going to put me in it or not. And now she's booked for July's PFL Champion Series card. No opponent yet, but one thing's for sure, she's not leaving. Here's what nobody's saying out loud. Dakota Ditcheva is PFL's biggest weapon in the women's market. Losing her to the UFC? That's not just losing a fighter. That's losing your brand identity. And Dana White knows it. That's why rumors of a massive UFC offer have been swirling. But if Dakota walks, PFL loses its golden child. PFL founder Donn Davis reportedly sat down with Dakota, and let's be real, this wasn't just a welcome back meeting, this was a name your price conversation. If she stays, she remains the queen of the division. If she leaves, PFL's women's flyweight scene collapses overnight. This isn't just about Dakota Ditcheva anymore. This is UFC versus PFL in plain sight. We've seen poaching wars before, but with Conor McGregor publicly backing her, Dana White willing to throw bags of cash, and the PFL digging in their heels, this could turn into the nastiest fighter tug-of-war in years. This isn't just about Dakota Ditcheva anymore. This is UFC versus PFL in plain sight. We've seen poaching wars before, but with Conor McGregor publicly backing her, Dana White willing to throw bags of cash, and the PFL digging in their heels, this could turn into the nastiest fighter tug-of-war in years.
Superstar, what is up, Fiat? You're the next big thing, Dave. Look up your nose.
Great to see it, Tia. Strong woman, good girl. Looking awesome. Great to see it. Great to find you, Ditcheva. Love it, love it. What's it back?